is 3 days to the polls where we Ghanaians will elect a president for this country out of the 13 presidential candidates we have for the general elections. My question this afternoon is, are you ready to make that decision? Well, it is not too late. You can still get information on all these presidential candidates and make an informed decision. I welcome you to Poll Watch here on Clock TV. I am Miriam Abena Adede here at Poll Watch. Just as we've promised, we are going to bring you nothing but insights into this year's election. That is before, during, and also after the general elections. And so with everything regarding elections, you need to be watching Poll Watch here on Clock TV. Today, we promise to bring you insightful conversations. I have my seasoned analysts online to give us their take into the issues pertaining to elections. But before that, let's take this patriotic song. We'll be right back.
None of you Ghana Ghana musicians, baby chololo, me or the car, let me account to father. Akodana, Manya, Mutani, they were soon about to Akasanga watches. Bafu the Wutu, Waki Buala Sakalawa. Kajemi, Ushiki phone, Jebe, she moved to Ingole. Sudo, Muye, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Angola, Rwanda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Sudan, Ivory Coast, Okumbo, one in Libya, Davidson, Okumbo, one in Libya.
And yet, of what's some party are saying, and your man's
Party moon to go. I'm going to be so this year. I go young will be cross.
yeah. Oh, hi. Party moon to quanto. I'm on the pub. I grab baby bassa.
Any bell on a
ke eko me femo aya fofo shikine koni wabu ejole ni wana ne ya fama ya keja Ghana ye troudo na subie no me se no
Emantie ne mabawa mumie masuna muntia power so man you be ye nyentokwa Women who have the power, so let's keep the peace. No party beef. One to one, divided we fall, united we stand. God bless Ghana.
Me want my Ghana team is travel, Papa, my infant to Chacha. I have some get a factor to Munya, Tokwana Munya, and if I time for my intruma.
And yes, of course, it is all about unity, peace, and love. These are the words we are preaching here at Paul Watch on Clock TV. I welcome you back to our discussions. Just as I said, I have with me in the studio seasoned analysts who are going to help us delve into the conversations we have this afternoon. And everything we're going to be talking about, you know, is in a way related to elections happening here in Ghana. And so you can join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which is being displayed on the screen, and also via our streaming platform, specific Facebook, and we'll read all your comments out. I have with me in the studio our very own Clement Yabankwe, who is an analyst and also also special seasoned analyst, Randolph Efifa Owari. Hello, guys.
Mimi.
Yes.
You look good.
Thank you very much. All these, you know, are geared towards our elections. I mean, we can't just come here and present to them data. We also have to make sure that we ourselves are packaged to give them the information they need to know about the election. But what's your take on the patriotic song we just saw? Let me start.
Mimi, once again, we've met here.
Yeah.
And today we will deal with issues of Paul Watch. So let's stick to that. But as you said, the song is really good. And I must say, it's promoting peace, unity, and also togetherness. I love the part he says that peace is our power. Yeah. So people need to have that at the back of their mind. But Mimi, there is one amazing thing. On Monday, on our way to Tama East constituency, we saw a vendor. And I know the crew will testify. The vendor was in NDC T-shirts and with an apron of NPP.
Wow. And
this woman was selling pure water. Yes. And the first when I saw this, I was like, hey, why will you be in NDC T-shirts and be in NPP apron selling? See, what she's doing, what I deduce from that is no matter the party affiliation, she's trying to tell us that NPP and NDC comes together to make us one. Exactly. So you shouldn't think that because you are in NDC, looking at your other opponents, you are enemies. You are going to fight each other. That is very wrong. Yeah. And I saw another post on online that talks about a person saying he's going to vote for both NDC and NPP. So moving forward, the slogan for NPP and NDC will be put together, and it will be known as a Zusable. So that is just one funny thing I want us to take home.
Okay, let's hear from Randolph. I can see he's smiling over there. Are you also saying a Zusable?
You see, there's actually a clear characteristics of the ordinary Ghanaian. In fact, when you travel outside the country, you appreciate the unity and the peace of as a country and as a people. And in fact, the nature of the Ghanaian is such that, I mean, our meekness is something that is unique compared to other African countries. Exactly. We are understanding, we love peace, we are not agitative, we are actually a kind of people that believe that our coexistence has been our power. And in fact, this peace song is so important. And I like that even you can see the people who sang the song are from various tribes.
Exactly.
In fact, Ghana is the only country that, in fact, I always say, Ewes, Ashantis, you go to a one household in terms of compound house.
Yeah.
You get Ewes, you get Ashantis, you get Bonus, you get Godness, including even in all witches, pastors, witches, we all live together. And so the coexistence is power that we have as a country. And nothing should interrupt it or disrupt it as a country. We should not let partisanship or politics or tribal something be able to destroy what we have. And that is the power we have as a country, which has propelled our democracy up to the stage in which we are now.
Exactly. And I know Yaira will not relate to compound house issues because she's been living in, an estate for a long time. That was just by the way.
Yaira, who are you?
Yeah, I mean, I would also like to say that we need to understand that peace has always been the cornerstone of this country's progress. Yeah. From the day I was born till now, I've been hearing Ghana is a peaceful. I've never heard Ghana is, a war zone or something. So I mean, this is something that we need to have at the back of our minds, and also know that we are ambassadors of peace wherever we find ourselves. We'll always be speaking about peace. You at home can also do the same by being an ambassador of peace wherever you find yourself, being your workplace, your communities, anywhere you find yourself. Just make sure that you're preaching peace, and at the end of this election and even beyond, we will have a peaceful Ghana we've all yearned for. Now, let me run you through the topics, for discussion today so that you don't tune off, because they are very interesting. We will be having some conversations surrounding the prophecies with who is predicting who as, our presidents for this general election. We have some videos to support that, and we also have some trending stories where the NDC has been making, headlines in the news for some time, and we will be balancing that with from the NPP as well. When we talk about NDC, we cannot leave NPP. Not to say we don't have other political parties, but these are the two major political parties we have in the country, and so you should pardon us. And then we'll also get to know what voters look out for before making that informed decision. Earlier, I made mention of the fact that if you haven't decided on who to vote for, it is not too late. You can get to the profiles or socials of these presidential candidates and get all information regarding their policies, manifestos, and everything you need to know about their policies to make that informed decision. And then lastly, we will end with an analysis of the data we have gathered so far. We will also intermittently have some views from people as to, their take on this year's election. So it is a power-packed conversation this afternoon. You cannot exempt yourself from it. You can as well join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which has been displayed on the screen. Now, gentlemen, let's start with our first conversation. We all know that prophecies, right? They play an important role in everyone's life. Most of us even live by prophecies. We live by prophetic words. It has, a multifaceted function in terms of cultural influence, individual, psychological, and so many other things. Now, we are in this country where less than a month into the elections, we have seen some major prophets or major men of God or women of God coming out to predict who is going to be our president for this year. And these people have a lot of following, where a lot of concerns have been raised as to the fact that they might be influencing their, church members to vote for their preferred candidates, which is not supposed to be so. Last Sunday, we witnessed one in a church of our very own Mama Pat, evangelist Mama Pat, where she was in a way campaigning for Bawumia, who is on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party, the NPP. And we saw that from the camp of Prophet El Bernard, who also spoke on the issue for the National Democratic Congress, which is ex-President John Dramani Mahama. Now, let me take your takes on that. Or would you want to, have a look at the videos before?
So, let me say something before we get to the videos. Mimi, I have been someone who have been following this issue of prophecies.
Okay.
And predictions from other organizations like the Global Info Analytics. But let's talk about prophecy for now. I've been following this election keenly, especially when it comes to aspects of prophecy.
Yeah.
Because maybe prophecy plays a role in these elections. In as much as I believe that God chooses a leader. That's my belief. And I have the hope that anything that happens physically has already happened spiritually. Exactly. Yeah, so if it has already happened spiritually, then it takes someone to look into it and bring it to bear. So if you look into the prophecy or you look into the realms of the spirit, I'm not speaking as a prophet, so let's make that point clear. So when you look into the realms of the spirit and you see party A winning or party B winning, it is between yourself and the Spirit of God, what He tells you to do. Exactly. So if the Spirit of God gives you the utterances to communicate to the people of Ghana, that is what you are supposed to do. Yeah. Because the Bible says that the spirit of a prophet is subjected to a prophet. Exactly. So if the utterance is given to you, why not? You just have to tell the people. But I have a problem with how it's been communicated, because prophecy is shaping public opinion. Yeah. And it's, as you said, it brings all about a political tension in the atmosphere. Yeah. Sometimes prophecy influences the church members and also let them tone a particular line which shouldn't be so. Yes, let the people come out with their free will that this is the person I'm going to vote for. Mimi, we're in this country, I think a couple of months ago, about 4 months ago, we heard of one Zimbabwe man of God, Prophet Ibet Angel, who came out with a lot of prophecy concerning Ghana's general elections. Exactly. To an extent that he said the ex-president should call him within some number of days, and if not, let's just make it so snappy. Yeah. I listened to him, his updates. The whole of last night, actually, I didn't sleep. I was following the stead. And he has come out to make a very profound statement. And I took something out of that. He said that, yes, God has told him who is going to win our general election. God has told him. But for now, he's not going to say it. Because he has got to know that it is influencing voters' decision. Exactly. Because he has a lot of people who follows him. So when he does that, he's going to make them tone that particular line, of which he's not going to do. But to him, he has called the person who's going to win privately, and he has told the person. But after the 7th December, that is when he's going to bring out the video. So for now, he's not going to bring it out. Okay,
so he has a video.
He has a video.
The prophecy.
Yes, the prophecy. Exactly. No, one was speaking with the candidate in question, but he's not going to bring it out now. Okay. And with the aspect of Prophet Kusi Boateng, I know him. I have been to his church in Kumasi. Prophet Bernard, I have been to his church before, so I know these two men of God. Prophet Kusi Boateng is one seasoned man of God who has prophesied in the aspect of New Patriotic Party coming to power. But on last Sunday, he brought out his final verdict on or his final prophecy. Sure. And he says that, yes, he still stands that the NPP is going to win this very election. Okay. And I loved a statement he made that don't vote because of what he is saying, but go in your numbers and cast your vote. He has said what God has said. Okay,
let me just ask this question. Okay. So if God has said something, does that mean that it can be wrong? Because if he's advising people not to vote based on what he has said, then assuming everyone votes against that presidential candidate that he predicted, obviously he is going to lose. So does it mean that when God says something, it can be wrong?
Mimi, I think today you want us to take into...
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. But let me take Randolph's take on that. We understand we have some videos to show as well, so that viewers can soak into the conversation as well. Randolph?
Yes. The question there is it the same God speaking to all these ministers? Is it the same God, or how many gods do we have? Can God, or does God speak to different people with different needs? Or let me say, the same God telling us that, or telling some section of his prophets that NPP will win. And the same God goes here to tell NDC somebody that NDC will win the elections. I mean, is God that confusing, or a God of confusion?
Not at all.
No,
it's not a God of confusion.
I want to make this point because, you see, I believe, I have made this point that yes, God is still in so many business with humankind, but that God speaking through man in terms of he getting involved. God doesn't even get, I believe God doesn't involved in some of these things.
Exactly.
Yes, because at the end of the day, we make predictions. People make, what I've realized is that people make predictions and prophecies based on their relationship they have with these candidates.
So not all.
I mean,
okay.
And the successive prophecies have actually made it known.
Yeah.
There are prophets that were nice with a certain candidate. They prophesied that I am prophesying that A, B, C, D is going to happen. When they went apart, they are, and with another candidate, are equally giving some kind of.
So people are prophesying based on their self-interest.
I believe one, relationship with people and their personal or emotional content.
Exactly.
Not entirely God, because there are people who have also equally given us that God have said A, B, C, D in successive elections, and it came out to be lie.
Not to cut you short, but please let's take a look at the videos so that our audience or viewers can understand the discussion. We'll be right back.
I saw a vision, which today God confirmed to me double. And in the vision I saw the Ghanaians had gone into election. And when we went for the election, Ghanaians began to vote. And everyone exercised their franchise. And they voted for whoever they wanted to vote for. And they voted. But by the time the election was done and it was counted, they announced His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the election. Listen to me. I did not say God said I choose. I saw majority of Ghanaians who can vote. You don't have vote, you are still talking. Who can vote? Voted for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I saw he was announced as the president of Ghana.
So you have to work on it. That is why I am working on it. I am not here to do politics. I am here to work on it for what God has told me to come to pass. And Makase, Onyami minimu no ame somo no. Onyami oyidi kire me no. Senyo me wa mama hu amamu ane chese na asam nya no kore. Said Nyami mami hu ya na amamu a, I will go back to the shrine. And it is a promise. Because me jinyami di se ni tumi wo ho, na ni tumi ye djuma, na de ono awrade yi di kire me no. Me jina ha e ka kire Ghana fo nyina se. Said Nyami ye kire me se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Onka na komanto ne yam. He is Onyami oyi di kire me no. Said yo me wa mama hu amamu ane chese na asam nya no kore. Said Nyami mami hu ya na amamu a, I will go back to the shrine. And it is a promise. Because me jinyami di se ni tumi wo ho, na ni tumi ye djuma, na de ono awrade yi di kire me no. Me jina ha e ka kire Ghana fo nyina se. Se kire me se
Afiwe akrakra oni sunsun betimi amende si ewi ni ti asema mekan and this obi esofo no say this bewi no wi na enye news obi nim say afia MPP enkoyi ana me amobofo amanse databuru adiga me se me ya nwon adwuma wo na ma nwon adwuma no MPP for no ntie manum asem na de asem de gu fom no mo yenye de yenye no ye 1 ana 2 se NDC asofo ni nyina ekotwa hia na me challenge o mo se o mo hu hwe so so hu amba be bo mo dua o ma kese o mo
na no why
my nana. In Chantro. Any. What I say? What to see?
What the Fabra? I am Makumako. 5. Okay.
The more modern you and I'm swimming soon.
What do we ma? What will be done? Ah, we had the wish you go for man now. You go at him number. Okay.
And these were some, prophetic messages from various prophets we have in the country. Notable among them are 2 major prophets, and about El Bernard and also Evangelist Mama Pat, and also Prophet Owusu Bempa. These 3 are very influential individuals when it comes to the world of prophecies. Now let's take this quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.
welcome back to Poll Watch here on Clock TV. I am Miriam Abena Adede, and right before our break, we saw some videos of prophets giving their predictions or prophecies with regards to who is going to be our president for this election. I mean, who Ghanaians are going to elect as their president. And I saw how intense gentlemen, the analysts wanted to contribute to that. So let me start with Reindorf. Reindorf, what's your take on the videos we saw?
In fact, that's a serious video, and it makes us just points I made that how many gods are we speaking to? Is speaking to who? Every one of them is actually alleging that God spoke to me, saying NPP will win.
Okay.
God spoke to me that NDC will win. And so if the NPP's prediction or prophecies doesn't come true, it means God was lying to all of us. If NDC's prediction doesn't go true, it means God was lying to all of us. And then in doing that, the consequence there comes that, according to Mama Pat, she's saying if NPP doesn't win, it means God doesn't exist.
Okay.
And she's going back to the shrine.
Okay.
Yeah. You get it?
Yeah.
And so it means God lied to her. But the question is, God truly spoke to her?
That's the question. And I think the other who had the bottles also said, everyone knows it's so obvious that the NDC might win the election. But even if they are supposed to win, he is going to do something, spiritual to change the results.
Is it possible that you will be here in Ghana and say, I have done this akwankyerɛ to change God's mind towards an election? Does God really have interest in who NDC, NPP is here in Ghana?
Exactly.
You see, one thing I want
to say something.
But before Clement, you come in, let's remind our viewers that the phone lines are open. The numbers are displayed on the screen. Okay, one number is being displayed on the screen right now, so you can call the number and also give us your submissions on today's.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mimi, there's one thing I want to establish here for viewers to understand. If Prophet A says NDC is going to win, Prophet B says NDC, at the end of the day, if their prophecy does not manifest, that does not make them a false prophet. Let's establish this fact here today.
It makes rather God a false God.
I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
exactly my question.
That does not make them false prophets, and that does not seem that God did not speak to them well. We all can be in this studio. Viewers can watch Clock TV. And when we ask viewers, what do you see? Viewers can tell us that they can see a bottle like this. Others can tell us that they see a table. Others can say they have seen a laptop. So we all can be in the same room, but we look at things in a different point of view.
Okay.
We all can see even this bottle, but at the end of the day, you might interpret this bottle in a different way from what I will interpret.
So the confusion
my point is
with the interpretation.
My point is with interpretation.
Okay.
And Mimi, he made a point that doesn't make God a false God. He's speaking. In the Bible says that, and God told the prophet to go and tell King Hezekiah that he's going to die. And the Bible said when the prophet of God left, King Hezekiah room to pray and told God that, God, have you forgotten my labor? I labored for you. And the Bible said, God told the prophet, that prophet of God, go back and tell King Hezekiah that I've added extra 15 years to his age. So sometimes God can communicate something about A, but when people go to the room to speak based on their personal relationship with God, things can change. So let's establish that.
Okay, so I can see people calling our WhatsApp number. Please, what you're seeing on the screen right now is the phone number or the call number. So please call this line instead of. Thank you so much.
So Mimi, let me make my point. Yeah. So I want viewers to understand that at the end of the day, now we have, let's speak to the videos we saw. Prophet Bernard Prophet Owusu Bempah on one line, Mama Pat on the other line. At the end of the day, if Mama Pat's own comes true, that doesn't make Prophet El Bernard and Prophet Owusu Bempah false.
Okay.
And if Prophet Owusu Bempah and Prophet El Bernard own come, that does not make Prophet Mama Pat's own false.
Yeah.
Let viewers understand this.
Yeah.
If not, at the end of the day, there's going to be a confusion in the Christian kingdom,
Sure.
which is going to have great impact in the Christianity we have,
Exactly.
in the system of belief. So we shouldn't make it seem that God is disappointing us, or the prophet or people whom God has chosen is really disappointed. It's not like that.
Okay.
Not at all.
Randolph.
See, there is clear. See, what all they were able to deviate from what they claim God actually told them. What was their thoughts, or what influenced their choice that, okay, I have seen. God has said A, B, C, D. So why did they choose NDC or NPP instead of what God? I mean, God is not a God of confusion.
Exactly.
If God will give you A, He makes it right.
Exactly.
Your interpretation will base on what you personally want.
Okay, so we have Abuaje on the line right now to speak to her. Hello, Abuaje. Hello, Abuaje. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Abuaje.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, me pacho kase free. Okay.
Nah. Yeah.
Hello, Pacho Yetio. Hello, Pacho. Do TV set mama?
Yeah. I'm so bored. I would want to be on the car. Is it possible?
Hello. Okay, so we just lost Abuaje, but I think he was saying that when God wants to speak to his people, he does that through his prophets.
Yes.
That was the bit I heard from Abuaje.
Exactly. Maybe let me say something. If Renoff, the point is coming from, even during the era of Israel and Egyptians, when God called Moses to lead the people of Egypt, Israel from Egypt, he gave him specific instructions for him to follow. It got a point in time that people of Israel were asking Egypt that asking Moses that, Moses, did you bring us here to die? Why? Because they didn't understand the seasons and the timing of God.
Exactly.
Unless the man of God whom God has appointed. I'm not trying to justify the prophetic happening in the system, but I want viewers to understand that if at the end of the day a particular prophecy does not come to pass, that does not make that prophet a false prophet.
So
that's what I want to establish.
Okay. Before I come to Randolph, we have a comment here. Good afternoon. My name is Bechi. Please, we have money gods. Okay. So we have another caller on the line. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Jerry. I'm calling from Ashari.
Your name again?
My name is Jerry from Ashari.
Okay. Jerry, please make your point.
Yeah, so the first point I would like to make is, my name is Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to say that God is not a God of confusion.
Okay.
Secondly, we need to be very clear that God has control over certain things, and there are other things God doesn't have control over.
Okay.
We match ourselves to the things that we are must go and vote. So when we are inviting God, position in terms of it, we need to be very careful. For instance, if we say that God says NPP is going to win, that person says God says NDC is going to win. At the end of the day, which God are we actually referring to? Because God cannot give us two prophecies different from each other. So there's a person there defining that it depends on how the person is saying the prophecy. No, I want to be very careful because that is what is the confusion into the Christianity. Then everybody says something and just goes away with it because it can either happen or not. Because once it's of God, it must happen. So I just want to end by saying that whatever this we have control over our human beings as Christians. And God also have control over certain things. But I didn't want to identify that. And not that we're going to vote our own decision we had voted on. Not on God's decision. Thank you.
I believe we all heard him, right? He was saying that God is not a God of confusion. And when these prophets do these things, it brings confusion among even we Christians, our spirituality as well. His points. Let me take this comment. So we have, good afternoon, my name is Berchi. Please, we also have money gods. Okay. We also have this. We live in a world of infinite possibilities. God created man and gave him free will. God is hardly involved in affairs such as voting, where mankind will go to the polls to make a decision. The men of God are only seeing the various possibilities. Exactly. Thank you very much in your comment. You're still watching Poll Watch here on Clock TV. We can see the conversation is heated. And so you can also let us hear your voice via our call number, which has been displayed on the screen right now, so that the conversation gets interesting. Now, Randolph, you wanted to make a point.
Yes. My point is very simple. You see, God, I believe now, God doesn't really make decisions for people. When it comes to the matters that we are responsible for, such as voting, I believe He has given us the right of choice as a people.
Yeah.
He has given us the power to reason and then make choices that are beneficial or are going to be beneficial to us.
Exactly.
If you read Isaiah chapter 8 and 20, he says, in this context, he says, to the law and to the testimony, if they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And this underscores the idea that God's revelations through the scripture is the ultimate authority. So let us just oppose this to what God is saying. Is God really, decide on who to be the president of any country? No, He has given us the power, the freedom of choice.
Exactly.
We can control our affairs. As in how we are today, there's no into the polls.
Exactly.
Because if God can control, or will say, I want party A to be the president, party B to be the president, that is why He has given us authority, the power of choice. People who are our leaders and their acts and
so we have Daniel from Bawe joining us via phone. Hello, Danny. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, so please make your point.
Yes, I want to talk in the building. Yes, they don't bring in Yamisa.
Okay.
And then I to be a woman. You don't be a woman. For passing the baby. People want to find the
Okay. Thank you so much. I think he was also making a point that God is one God and we should always know that.
To conclude on my point here.
Briefly, so we move to the next angle.
In fact, you see, God has given us the power of choice. He's given us leaders.
Okay.
And so, for instance, if just like it happened in 2000 and imagine, just get to know the kind of prophecies that came in 2016 that NDC was going to win the elections. Almost all the prophecies that came was that NDC was going to win the elections.
Okay.
And then NPP won with that margin.
Okay.
Does it mean God lied to us? God doesn't lie.
Maybe the prophets
So,
interpret
yes, whether the interpretation of the prophecy, does it go in line with the word of God? If it doesn't, then they all did or made those prophecies out of their personal sentiments.
Okay.
Personal sentiments.
Okay, we have Kofi Ajay from Takwa joining us. Hello, Kofi.
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, please make your point.
Okay, that's all. Program
Mpacho yo, mpacho yani tie amayen.
Okay, Bible says nyanko yi administra. Ye yem moduma. Ye yem moduma. And some idea na be was been kan ko ti say and there was by the you moduma rather than no. Jacob Esau. My ba ko Jacob so this let's get up let's opportunity to know from the from it so I was oh yeah no man the service aba na fun there Israel Yankopon na Israel out na Israel but on my phone in the chat but it's someone Yankopon every come Israel for Abraham I was already cut off Gomer was in the ship everything the minute for you everybody see it's already be clear it must forget I was saying you Abraham and go in phone it's the only one
Let's comment here. And in the video, Prophet El Bernard said, God did not say he has chosen Mahama, but many people had casted their votes for Mahama. I think that is someone's concern. And we also have this. Okay, so I am a Kosia inside Kaswa. Sometimes the prophecies might be accurate, but rigging would overturn it. That is very interesting.
So,
we are in Ghana.
Mimi, let me
Okay, let's take your
yes, my last submission.
Yes.
My last submission on this. I want first to understand that when it comes to matters of prophecy, the prophet of God can say that, let's say, A is happening. But after he's saying A is happening, you're the one who received the prophecy. You have a role to play.
Exactly.
And when you ask those who are in the prophetic school, will tell you that if you fail to play your part in what God has said and it does not manifest, that doesn't mean, that is the point I want to establish. That doesn't mean that the man of God is a false prophet. Not
Well
at all.
established.
That is my
Randolph,
point I
let's
want to
take your
establish.
Okay,
comments.
he just mentioned a prophetic school. I never knew there is a school for prophecy because I know.
Randolph, so let me cut you. We have Abdul Rahman on the line. Hello, Abdul Rahman.
Abdul Wahab, not Abdul Rahman.
Hello, Abdul.
Yes.
Hello, Abdul. Okay, so Randolph.
So, in fact,
God is that if God has the president, he can change your heart and follow the one who is going to do. That is how we Muslims live. So God cannot lie to anybody. He said he is the one who is going to lie to you. But if God will also see your mind, if by sympathy or you so that you go with the other one, so that that person can win. So that's the prophecy. Normally, we understand that prophecy. So if it's because of the president also change that. Example like I was trying to look for that example like Tom Mahama. But now I've seen that I'm going to go for somewhere. So if I have a change their mind like that, definitely will be. If the political people change their mind, they will not win. That's how leadership. So whether somebody or not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abdul Rahman, for bringing submission as well. Now, Randolph, briefly. So we move to the next topic.
All right.
We have so many things to talk about.
So what I was actually, the point I was making is very simple. Our God is not a God of confusion. And God, according to the Bible, has given us, parameters by which he operates. That is the Bible. The Bible is very clear. The Bible is very clear in a sense that things that are in the Bible gives us direction. We have the power of judgment, the power of choice. That is ours. So what we base to vote is that NDC came to power, they did A, they did B. This is how it benefited me. This is how I think it's good for me. And so for that reason, I'm going to vote for A or B. That is how, we chose our election, our leaders. God has everything, the power of judgment. And if we have the power of judgment, that is to interfere.
Exactly.
It is for us to make our choice. And any choice that we choose or we make has a consequences. And that is the natural, natural occurrence.
Thank you very much, Randolph. Okay, so we have our last caller, Michael from Brekum. Hello, Mike.
Yes, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. So make
already I'm going out and I'm because already that's why the truth we are getting down. I mean, and not set on no banking brand. What is that? But it's about everybody.
Okay, and that was Michael from Brekum there. Thank you so much. Now, this is where we end the end of this discussion. Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll look at what former President John Dramani Mahama is saying about the NPP. You are welcome back to Poll Watch here on Clock TV. I am Miriam Abna Adede, and we are moving straight into our next conversation, which has to do with the former president and also flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, who is accusing the NPP government for their various attempts or disinformation attempts or campaigns against him, which he termed as, trying to destroy his, integrity or image as a presidential candidate. And according to him, this is not the first time the NPP is doing this to him. He said they've orchestrated allegations, so many attacks on his convoy, calling them baseless, attempts to create division, especially because we are heading towards the election. He also reiterated his commitment to a peaceful campaign and urged all stakeholders to prioritize unity and also transparency. I think he said this during his visit to the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II over the weekend, where he made this known. Hello, Clement.
Mimi.
So, former President John Dramani Mahama is accusing the NPP for their various disinformation against him. They are using so many ways to tarnish his image. What's your take on this?
So, it's not only the NPP being victim or being guilty of this issue. It is the whole political landscape.
Okay.
A is doing to B and B is doing to A. So let's make that point clear.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like A accusing B of doing it and B is no.
But
we have seen it.
This is what the former president
yes,
said.
I would come to that. I would come to
that the NPP, are trying to tarnish his image.
Yes, so I'm going to arrive at his point,
Okay,
but I want viewers to understand that it is not only about former President Mahama who is accusing the ruling government.
Okay.
Also, sometimes, even NDC sometimes communicates some of this misinformation or disinformation about New Patriotic Party.
Okay.
That is what we just want to establish, that is a fact here.
Okay.
Because we've heard a lot in the public space.
Okay.
With the issue of the Otumfuo's convoy, the whole information that we are discussing today, we heard that Otumfuo traveled to Nkranza for a funeral. On his way around Techiman, some people attack the convoy of Otumfuo, buses throwing stones to it. I think yesterday I was watching one of the media houses, I don't want to mention it, and on the media houses panel, one of them made a point that per their investigation, know that it is the NDC people who are behind the attack on Otumfuo's convoy, to an extent that this person make a statement that President Mahama, former President Mahama, is the one behind such attack on Otumfuo's convoy, of which former Mahama or the NDC came out to say it is really false, because there's no way they will do that. That is why when he got to Otumfuo's premises, he made such statement.
Exactly.
This wasn't the only thing he said. He also said that the information concerning free SHS cancellation, he made it known to Otumfuo that it is not true, because there's disinformation about him that he is going to cancel free SHS. He made it point that it is never true. I'm coming from the point that's happening in the both political landscape.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be like NDC is accusing only NPP of doing it.
Okay.
We've had instances where NDC sometimes also have misinformation or disinformation against the New Patriotic Party. That's the point I just want to establish.
Okay, Randolph, what's your take on this story as well?
Okay, so disinformation is something that we should all refrain from as a people, especially going in. Information is power, and it's key. And so for every country to move progressively, information must be given accurately. And just as we have always reiterated that, in fact, whether we'll have peaceful election or not, correct information is very vital. Coming back to what President or ex-President Mahama just said, in fact, it's unfortunate that he made that assertion, especially to say there is a department in, how do I call it, at a Jubilee House, created to bring out fake news. He made that statement, which is, honestly, he must come to apologize, because I'm not sure there is a department. There was a department when he was a president.
But
where they were there to create or craft.
Okay.
That not, I mean, it is not something he is supposed to say.
Okay.
But then to say that an NPP, the people who are making those allegations, or it is the NPP government that is making that allegation, is also false. People, or one or two people or persons making some allegations. Do you get it? Making some allegations do not have to make you generalize that it is NPP or the government that has created or found people to come and then lie or say these things against you.
We've seen instances where
yes.
even parliamentary candidates
yes.
During campaigns
yes.
have said so many things
yes.
about the NDC,
yes.
which in a way are not true.
Yes.
Yes. So he has some form of evidence or
so just as my brother said, during political season, people say stuff.
Okay.
And they themselves as politicians have told us there is a political talk.
Okay.
When there is this things like this, it's emphatic that there is a department at the presidency who are cooking, they cook fake news to the public. It's also a disinformation on his part as a former president, because such does not exist. Both parties, yes, we agree that.
Do you work at the department of the presidency? Do you work there?
The presidency.
I want to make a point. Do you work there?
Okay, so let me
finish his point.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make my point.
Okay.
Is he also aware, or does he have any evidence that there's a department at the presidency that cooks fake news? Do we have such?
Okay.
There isn't. So he is himself. So he can. Wait. He has the opportunity to tell us something that I am. How do I call it? Innocent. That I am. Victim of maybe this disinformation, but then you do not also have the right to peddle falsehood.
So wait, I see. Mimi, let me come in. So,
he has no point in doing
that.
The incident is wrong.
Let Clemens make his point. Okay.
The incident is wrong.
Was
he's
for the sake of clarity,
exactly.
Let Clemens make his point.
I want Reynolds to make it known. I don't know whether he works at the office of the president. If he does, then he can speak emphatically that there's no department there that works on that. If he does, he just make it known to the viewers. Because I'm coming. I'll come to you again.
You just asked me.
Wait, I'll come to you again. I'll come to you again. Because if he does not work there, then he should reframe his statement.
Okay.
You see, it is like he's kind of accusing the former president of what he has said.
Because
I'm coming.
Wrong information.
It's never that is opinion. Mimi, when you listen to this interview or this issue, I have followed since yesterday. I didn't want to mention my house's name, and I didn't want to mention whoever who said that. But look at the point Reynolds is coming from. He is speaking to a particular angle, which it is not. I believe that viewers should make their own.
That information here.
So viewers should make their own.
All I know is that former President Dramani Mahama was just saying that the NPP have been, circulating stuff.
Yes.
In a form of
I want to even make just give me a second.
You didn't make me finish my point.
Just a second.
Please.
To help you.
See, if we don't make our conversations end, for clarity's sake, our audience will be, missing out in our points and other things. So please.
But just to help his point briefly, you see, this accusation issue was on the social media.
Okay.
There is equally a tribal kind of politics, which actually people are suggesting that is what generated today, which is another angle of conversation out there.
Okay.
But then when it equally comes from the president making an emphatic statement about things he knows that in a statement, which he is fighting, that people are things against him. And he knows that what he's equally saying is not correct.
Randolph, don't forget in 2020,
yes,
there was this news that circulated widely that former president was having an affair with an actress it was allegedly that this supposed actress, Tracy Boache.
And they themselves were fighting.
No. It was something that was
were fighting
by
and they were
the
mentioning names.
No.
They were fighting and mentioning.
So it was something that the NPP also held on to use that against the NDC.
Okay.
Do you get it? So these things are, are definitely going to happen. We are just talking about the issue of disinformation.
Exactly.
So saying something that is not true to tarnish
image. Yes. So
it's very, very bad.
For that, I think, Renoff, let me make my point. I think, Renoff, we are trying to tell the public that disinformation, misinformation is wrong.
Yeah.
It's something we should entertain. And we don't want to sit on this great platform to specifically attack an angle where at the end of the day we might end up not proving that very thing. If we are talking about former president making emphatic statement that the new Patriotic Party is cooking disinformation around him, we know of instance where, as you said, in 2020 a lot of things was said about the former president, and it's all political happening. So whenever we are sharing our thoughts, I believe that we shouldn't take sides on issues like this, because Mimi, this issue is very critical because it happened at a time when President Mahama was in Ashanti region visiting the people of Ashanti to communicate his message to. That's when this issue happened. So someone had the opportunity to start on Want to Meet TV and make an emphatic this attack or this thing that was done to Otunfo was supported by former President John Dramani Mahama, which is wrong. So if former president is coming out to say that it's
is sending his message, he's asking Mimi, why are your analysts fighting? Please, we are not fighting. This is from K inside Amasaman. We are not fighting. It is just that we want the conversation to be, intense. We want to get your reactions as well, and that is why we are towing that line. We are not fighting. Thank you very much for that. Now, Randolph,
yes,
the NDC and also some elders of the NDC have raised a concern about pre-election tactics. They are saying that the various commissionings we've been seeing by the NPP government are ways of, luring Ghanaians to vote for them. In a way, they are also saying they are disrespecting the intelligence of many Ghanaians. Why have you waited till now to make, so many commissionings? Just yesterday, we saw the commissioning of the E-Gate at the Kotoka International Airport, Terminal 3, where incumbent vice president, who is on the ticket for the NPP as their flag bearer, also was the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as he commissioned that. Last week, we saw a back-to-back commissioning of, roads, infrastructure, our new Bank of Ghana building where we have opposite Ridge. So many commissionings have, even last week we had about 80 education
facilities
commissioned by President Akufo-Addo. These are many things that the NDC elders of the council are raising, that they are disrespecting the intelligence of Ghanaians. Randolph, what's your take on this as a political analyst? Be neutral, please. we have concern.
I am neutral here. You see, the aspect of commissioning comes with project management and their duration of completion. Every project that we know that governments, we have come to a stage that we know government projects have completion or its duration. So if projects have its duration and the contract was signed probably early this year or last year, and it was given that, okay, by the end of this ABCD month, you are supposed to finish and hand over to government. Or probably the project was initiated about 3 years ago, and the project duration is supposed to end maybe 2023 or 2022, and it happens. And I believe the president, there's no law binding the president or the vice president from commissioning any. But then the why now also comes. These two parties in successive years have played the same cards. 2016, a day before election, President Mahama commissioned a project.
Which
even during that period, there were. We shouldn't deceive ourselves.
Okay.
Successive governments have done that.
Yeah.
So and it is because of project duration and equally funding.
Okay,
funding.
Okay.
Some fundings.
Randolph,
yes.
You would have to buttress your points with facts.
Yes,
right?
I would do that.
Because our viewers are watching keenly and following. Don't forget, we have 3 days to make a decision, a critical decision. And people are going to base their decision on our conversation today. I believe conversation, a lot of people are going to have a change of mind or still have whoever they intend to vote for. So please, when you're making your point, buttress that with facts.
Let me say this: projects that have been available for Ghanaians, and you realize that there are projects that are in need. Some are hospitals, some are schools, and I'm not sure there is a law in Ghana that bans anybody from commissioning projects that are ready.
So
you get
my
it?
question
when the timing is discretional.
Is it intended to sway voters into voting for them, or it is to register their achievements in the mind of voters when they get?
You see, we shouldn't also pretend.
Okay.
We are in election period.
Okay.
And every government, whoever has done something, would want to let people know that, I've done this.
Okay.
We are here. We are the same Ghanaians who were asking that we've spent all and there are no projects. And you've taken up monies and you squandered all monies there are no projects. And the same people are also giving you the timing aspect. I'm coming. Wait, my brother. The timing aspect, I believe, is discretional. If projects are ready, and as and when the projects are ready and they are commissioned, I don't have any problem with it.
Okay.
So far as it is a project that the Ghanaian will use, there is no problem with it. And beside that, is President, the people who are saying this, the NDC elders, are they telling us or are they explaining to us that, or we Ghanaians, that when it was their period, they never commissioned any project, or did they give any reason why? We are in Ghana. We know when successive governments have done that.
You've not given us one.
Oh no! You see, I'll give you much evidence. What I will do is that the truth is, every government have used his tenure. Even a day before. We were even here when a day before elections, Domolevo, the former, how do I call him?
Auditor General.
Was given an appointment letter. Even right after elections.
But that's
you said you've meant two things. You said a day before. Now you are making it right after.
It was after.
You shouldn't make issues here. Let's speak. I'm coming.
It's fact. After elections.
I get your point. Let me take these comments. I'm coming. Let me take these comments so that Clement, you make your point, and then we'll take a break and we'll come back. Good afternoon. I was so impressed with your conversations. What is baffling me more is the minister that the woman of God said that if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia does not become president, she will go back to the shrine. Okay, I is in reference to our first discussion. Okay, so we also have this good great conversation there. But I want to ask, is politics our level allegations against each other and for other to deny or what? Our politics is full of childish attitude. Okay. Thank you very much for your comments as well. We also have this. Hello, I'm Nana from Tema. I want to ask, why did they wait till election period to commission their project? Okay, we have a question similar to my question, the why principle. Why wait till now? This is also coming from Nana from Tema. Please keep bringing in your WhatsApp messages to our WhatsApp number, which has been displayed on the screen. And also our phone lines are open. You can also call and tell us what you think. Please do not call the WhatsApp number. I can see a lot of you calling the WhatsApp number. What you're seeing right now is the WhatsApp number.
we'll display the phone number so you also call to join the conversation. And yes, so let's take this quick break. When we come back, we'll know why the commissionings are being done now, and also we'll look at why voters really have to vote and even the things they look out for before they make their choices. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. your comments. The conversation still continues. You can join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, and also let us hear your voice via our phone lines, which is opened, so we can get to know what you make of our various discussions. Now, right before going for the break, we were talking about the various commissionings that have been happening in the floor of the NPP or the incumbent government. Talk of the roads, infrastructure, buildings, everything. They've been commissioning a lot of their concerns. A lot of people have been raising. And just yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia commissioned an e-gate or a digital border control system at the Kotoka International Airport. And the system was developed and also owned by Ghanaians to integrate artificial intelligence, biometrics, and also real-time data processing to streamline airport procedures. Now, some people have raised concerns about the fact that yesterday, in the process of trying this e-gate by our very own Vice President, the gates refused to open. And these are some, interesting comments that people are asking, that is the Vice President in a haste to commission almost everything they have said they want to do, or it is just something that they have to do? And I think our analysts were making their submissions on that. Randolph was speaking for the break. I'll take your... We move to the next conversation.
Let me start.
Make your point and then...
So you talked earlier before we were talking about the commissioning of various projects within this short possible time.
Yes.
And the point is it really, is the timing the point that voters need to look out for? But Mimi, viewers should understand that this very activity of the current government has impact, and there are key things that we need to look out for. We have positive impact of commissioning this project at this point in time. We have the negative impact. One, the positive impact is about boosting public perception about the current government. When they commission it, they want the public to believe that indeed, yes, they've done a very good job. So they are going to applaud them on that. And another part is influence on decised voters. So this commissioning thing, it is, yes, in the aspect of the politician, he's using it as one avenue to get decided on whom they are going to cast their vote for. So viewers or voters should take note of it. It's not just 2-3 days to election. So you need to be very careful with such commissioning of our project. The next thing we want to also look at is the having a lasting impact on that very government, because with it commissioning, the ruling government, for example, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led administration want to have a lasting impact in the mind of Ghanaians. We know the era when the former president had the interchange at a Circle. Yes, it's a Circle Dubai. It has a lasting name in that time. So this same thing is also going to have a lasting name. We have negative impact of commissioning projects at this very point in time. One is seen as election gimmicks, of which we need to talk about it. Yes, election gimmicks. We need to talk about it. You see, in as much as you influence voters for them to vote in your line, if you're not careful, you make voters feel like you are taking them for granted. And even with anger against you. So as a political analyst, I want politicians to understand that, yes, you want viewers or you want voters to turn your direction, but the timing for commissioning of projects needs to take look into very critically. And you see, there are key things we need to consider in this commissioning. One is the nature of projects. Was it even necessary to Ghanaian? The project you are commissioning, is it very necessary at this point in time? Two is the community needs. Does the community needs this very project you are commissioning? So these are the conversations I believe voters need to understand. And the transparency. Let's get to know that, yes, you've commissioned a project A, a project B. What was the way or the mode of funding that very project? So that all these things will inform voters in making a decision. Lastly, I want our viewers to understand that anything that is said on this very platform, we are going to back with proof. So we want them to always get to understand that everything is to inform them for them to make a good decision coming 7th December.
Okay,
we are
not to cut you short, Clement. Let me take this comment, then we move straight to Randolph, and then we move to our next discussion. Hello, good day. My name is Steven Deku. A humble lion is still my sobriquet. Okay. It's nauseating sometimes hearing such comments. In any case, was the project completed last year and they are now commissioning it? No. It is completed, yes. So what is the hula baloo? Okay. On the day of the election will not be holiday. So if he wants to commission it on election day, he can. Thank you very much, Stephen, for bringing in your comments as well. Now, Randolph, lastly, let me take your take on this then.
Okay, so Baumia launches digital border control system, e-gates at Kotoka International Airport.
Please make it brief.
So I think about this very project, I'll commend the government for, the trend of digitizing our economy, and especially
that is what he stands for.
Yes, and it's very good because see, our economy or the economy of the world is now digital. So you cannot talk about economy without talking about digitalization.
Okay.
And I believe this is what he has been doing, which is going to be very important or very good for our country. So looking at the e-gate, this is a project that actually was worked on by Ghanaian. It's a Ghanaian-owned people that actually did this project.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a project that has the capacity to integrate the integrated artificial intelligence, biometrics, real-time data processing time. It's a whole project that is so important. And I believe it's actually going to help our border system.
Yeah.
So our immigration and people going to all those stuff, this is actually going to help our tourism as well. And also bring down the frustration when people come into Ghana and all that.
Yeah.
With the issue of it being open or whatsoever, we know that IT or digitalization equally have its own challenges in a way.
Yeah.
And nothing is perfect. Sometimes there may be very minute things that may not work within that period.
So that brings me to my question that was the vice president in a haste?
It wasn't
to commission
it wasn't in a haste.
If maybe they had taken their time to, access its
if you watch the video, I've watched videos that others went through the same system smoothly. When it got to his turn, it delayed a bit. And this is IT.
Okay.
So it might be a little, even you see, everything is purely about networking and then a network.
Right.
There may be some difficulties, but then this should not cover the very important project that has been commissioned for Ghana.
Which is?
The project. If we are to trumpet the little challenge that it had in the president or the vice president assessing the project, and we make that a headline, instead of projecting the very project that is in to support the the reason why, what problem is the project going to solve?
You see,
and that minute should not cover of the project.
Well noted. Clement, make your point. And
our discussion is just about to look at the impact of commission of projects to voters.
Yes.
You see, let me make this point. We are not here to either support a political party's project commissioning or not to support a political party.
Nobody has done that.
I'm making my point.
Nobody has done that.
Please let's
go. So what I want to say is this. We are looking at the impact of commission of projects of such nature in a moment and times like this.
Exactly.
So I want to tell viewers that look at the very peculiar nature of the project and go and cast your votes. Don't let any commission of a project influence your decision. If you have the decision to make that Go and do that.
Exactly.
You have the whole things with you. You are all well know what is really going on in the country. So we shouldn't let someone in his own way to maneuver whatever decision we want to exercise on 7 December. That is what I just want to say.
Okay, let me take this final comment, then we'll move to our last conversation. Hi, I am Amma inside Kaswa. I'm enjoying the conversation. Thank you so much, Clock TV. But I want to say that if your father has been good to you throughout your upbringing and he wasn't able to pay for your graduation fee, does that mean you will not invite him to the graduation ceremony? Please, I leave this question to your analyst. Thank you so much, Amma, for bringing in your... But I mean, I think what Amma is trying to say is if you have done so many good things for Ghanaians, right? I don't think commissioning projects now would have an influence in, you know, who they should vote for, because we know what you can do.
Regardless, we are voting based on what you think is good for you.
Right. So
and
on that note,
there are considerations in making, that decision.
That is leading us into our next discussion. What voters look for before that informed decision. People are motivated, people are inspired, people see what is happening before they make their choices. I've heard so many people saying, oh, I voted for this political party last 4 years, but I'm voting for this political party this year. We want to know. Let me start with Clement. What do you think voters should look out for before making that informed decision so we wrap up?
So the first thing voters need to look out for is the very thing we are discussing, development.
Okay.
And this commission aspect is about development. So that's the very first thing voters look out for. Per research, Ghanaian voters are looking out for 4 main things. That's happening in the economy. They are looking at the education sector. They are looking at health, and also I would add integrity of the various candidates involved. So these things are going to influence voters' decision coming 7th December. One most important thing I want to talk about is the aspect of integrity of the candidate. Not being so good, we 13. We've had track record of most of them. And when you pick the 2 major candidates that are actually in the race, that is the current Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and the former president, we can trace their track record, which serve as integrity for this very election. And we know what each and everybody said before he was coming into office. Let's observe that all the promises that they told Ghanaians some years ago, were they able to fulfill them when the mandate was given to them? If they were not able to fulfill such promises, then we shouldn't give them such mandate again. I sit here as an analyst. That is what I would say. So if President Mahama was given the mandate and he promised Ghanaians of part A, B, C, D, and if he was not able to do the A, B, C, D, we shouldn't give the mandate as the next president. If Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia was given mandate and he promised that, especially, I just don't want to mention particular promise of any of them, but especially the aspect of the economy and how the economy was really happening the way back 2016, of which that time Ghanaians realized that things were very hard, so they want to give the nod to a new government to bring in new things into the system to boost the economy. They had trust in the government, so they gave me the nod. So let's assess the government that the trust we had in them after giving them the nod, were they able to meet it? Were they able to meet the target? If they were not able to meet the target, yesterday I said something here on this very platform, that if you want to hold people accountable, real accountability is your voting. It's 7 December, going to the polling station and casting your vote. So if you realize that there are integrities at stake, viewers, I nearly said believers, viewers, we shouldn't give them the nod again, because integrity is one thing that nobody should joke with. The last aspect is education. Yes, we know that we want education for the people of Ghana, and thanks to the current government for implementing free SHS has been so wonderful for people to enjoy. But let's look at the quality of it. Let's assess all these things. After that, look at the era of John Mahama. His era of education system, was it really good? How did you analyze it when you were schooling at that point in time? So you make all these analysis, and at the end of the day, you go on 7 December and you vote for whoever you want to vote for. The last thing I will say, Mimi, is the aspect of job and money. As a business-minded person, yes, money is very important. And as money reflects ordinary Ghanaians' pockets in this system, if money is not reflecting, then we need to change our way of voting.
Well said, Clement.
Yes, but if the money is reflecting, why not? Let's give them the nod.
Exactly.
I would quote President Kufuor, who said something, that the government will pretend to pay you, and workers will pretend to work. But at the end of the day, let's come together and make Ghana a better place for dwellers.
Thank you
That is
very much,
what I would
Clement.
say.
Let's take this comment, then we move to Randolph, then we call it a day. Right, so, hi, this is painful when I see youth supporting political parties than our country, Ghana. My question is the e-gate working as they are saying? Thank you so much, Woodwork, for bringing in your comment. Randolph, let's hear your point and then we call it a day.
Okay, so on the matter of what people or what you are to look up to vote for, I think individuals, there are a few things that make us, better. As a country, we look at our personal needs and personal development. We look at infrastructure, that if I am sick today, do I have access to health facility that will take care of my health, irrespective of how much you have in your account? If you are you have a child, do you have access to good education? Because at the end of the day, it's not every day you can have money, and it's not every time that probably you may have that strength to be able to take your children through education. In other aspect too, you look at the aspect of job. Ask yourself, the two candidates that are vying, or the two political parties that are here, in fact, what has been their track records compared to what you have today? Do you get it? So when you oppose these two track records, and then you ask yourself questions. The question is that when party A was there, what did he do? And party B is here. What is he doing? And if party A wants to come back, what didn't he do that he think he can do now? And if it's about economy, you ask yourself, okay, he is saying economy is bad. It is A, it is B, it is C. We understand. What are his measures to reverse the current trend of economic challenge? So in this case, we look at their manifestos. Does the manifesto make sense? The policies they are saying they are going to bring, does it really make sense? If it's actually a solution-based manifesto, or practical-based manifesto, that is fine. But if you think and it doesn't really give us the needed solution when it comes to health, it doesn't give needed, how do I call it, a solution. When it comes to infrastructure, all these things, let's just oppose them. Let's see what they did, what they have now, and what they all want to do tomorrow, and make use of those things to help us make a good judgment in choosing a president.
Thank you very much. Randolph Efrifa Owari is a political analyst, and also Clement Yabankwe is as well a political analyst. They join me today on Poll Watch to make our conversations insightful, not forgetting you at home. You called, you sent in your messages. Thank you so much for being a part of Poll Watch. We are coming your way tomorrow, same time, with interesting conversations related to elections 2024. Don't forget, we are all ambassadors of peace wherever we find ourselves, because it's to the make sure you make a decision that is going to transform our lives as Ghanaians. Thank you very much. I am Miriam Abnadede. See you again tomorrow.